Michiko and Hatchin, episode 4, Stray Cat Milky Way. Now, this episode kind of started off like all the other ones, it's like pretty silly and funny, and then by the time this episode ends, it's just like, holy crap, this is like, it became like probably the most serious episode we've had so far. I know it's only 4 episodes in, but it was like really serious, aside from like the stuff, of course, with Hatchin in the very first episode. This got like really real, and we met, two new characters, one of which I have to assume is going to stay in the series. The other, probably not, because it seemed like she was definitely shot up and killed at the end of this episode. And, it just ends there. So, I'm assuming the way that they're playing it is that Michiko is going to decide to change her mind, and she's at least going to help Pepe's younger sister. So, I'm not sure how things are going to play out in this next couple episodes, or if it's just going to be the next one. I know that on demand, I actually saw that there's the next 2 episodes are actually part 1 and part 2. So maybe this is like 3 episodes. It's going to be 3 episodes sorted together, with this being the first one, and the next 2 probably Michiko and Hatchin trying to figure out how do we help Pepe's sister and deal with Rico and his little gang of little gun-toting kids. So I'm not sure what to expect from the next episode. I kind of want to watch him right now because I just really want to see what happens. But I really love this one. I thought, like I said, it started off simple enough, and then we actually learned about this woman who's stripping and how she, kind of grew up, and she was kind of like the princess, and she was treated that way, and her family had a lot of money. It was her sister, and her father, and then their father dies, and he leaves the family in debt, and so they have no more money, and she has to strip in order to make a living for herself, as well as her little sister, and she's trying to get all the money that she can so that she can basically just run away from Rico, who is kind of introduced in this episode, and he's like the boss of the favela, and he's just, the villain at this point, and he did like a full-on pimp slap in this episode too, like when they're talking, and he did like every single step of like an actual just a pimp slap. Like, he was the one who was wrong. He didn't remember her birthday, so he forgot that. He tried to give her like a half-ass happy birthday. He was getting what he deserved, which was a slap, and then he just did like the block and just was like, nope, and return, and he just slapped her. And then right after that, he's like, oh, as if, it was her fault, like, look what you made me do, sort of thing. And he tried to help her up. He did like a textbook example of that. And obviously he's just a bad guy. He's like trying to get money from Michiko, which he ends up doing because she doesn't need the complications of, once again, gun-toting children coming in trying to kill them and all that crap. So he gets paid from her, and he's just an issue, and Pepe's trying to get herself as well as her little sister out of there. And by the end, all she's really concerned with is her little sister, because she's the big sister. She wants her younger sister to have a good life, like a much better life, kind of like the one that she initially started off with before their father died. And I was just really caught off guard by this episode. I did not expect it to become such a serious thing, and it's like, she has this information on Hiroshi, which we really don't get a lot of info out of her, because Michiko kind of takes off before she's finished talking, and we may never get that info based on the ending of this episode. I don't think there's going to be sort of an anime-esque sort of save moment, in this series, because it doesn't seem like that type of show. And, Michiko mentions that, like, why didn't she just help her? She has, I don't know where she got this lighter from, but it's just like gold with diamonds and stuff on it. Diamonds, and it even had like a purple jewel on the very top, I believe. So she could have helped her. She could have given her enough money, which, as we saw, wouldn't have made a difference anyway. She would have just been, shot as soon as she got out, like she was. But, she still felt bad. Like, she had something that could have helped her out, but she chose not to, because she kind of has to look out for herself so that she, can protect Hatchin, just like Pepe was trying to protect her sister. So, I'm not, like I said, I'm really excited to see what takes place in the next episode, because they obviously aren't just going to take off from where they are right now. They're looking for Hiroshi. They have info that he's at least in the area. And now they have like 2 new characters, and, sadly now, most likely just one, that they kind of have to look after. And, Michiko's probably going to feel bad that she didn't She's probably gonna have the idea that she could have changed things a little bit, but ultimately, I think she's gonna end up trying to help Pepe's sister, and I wish I could remember her name. Um, but I think that's what's gonna end up happening, and we're just gonna have to see how that plays out. But I definitely enjoyed this episode. I loved getting to see Hatchin drunk, which was really, really funny. That was probably the funniest moment of this episode for sure. Um, but I love that, and she's just talking to Pepe, and it's like, why do you like money so much? How much did you get for selling your panties and stuff like that? And it was just really funny in the way, um, the way the dialogue was acted out was just really well done. And then the scene where she was like dancing and stuff, and Michiko just grabs her by the hair. It was just a nice, funny scene, and she's like just a drunk kid, and it's like, oh, she's drinking juice. And initially, I thought she was actually drinking juice, and I thought it was just funny, like, oh, it was like she was taking shots or something, just like Michiko was, but she's just drinking juice, and it's like, basically a second after that, I'm like, no, she's actually drunk. That's actually alcohol in that, and she just thinks it's just juice and nothing else. So I love that scene. It was really funny. Seeing Pepe and her sister when they went to eat at the restaurant was funny too. When Hatchin just turns around and she's just like, just does that, and the guy, he's pissed off, like, the dine and dash thing. So I definitely thought that was really funny. And, it was, like I said, it had its moments for sure where it was just normal, silly Michiko Hatchin stuff. And then really sort of dramatic surprise ending, and she gets shot at, and it's just like, boom, to be continued. So it's just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna wait until next week. But I don't know, if I don't, then odds are I'll have another review up really soon. But I guess I wouldn't have to wait too long. It would be this weekend. It's only like a couple days away for Saturday. But I don't know. Like, this episode kind of surprised me. It was like, it started off normal, and then we got her backstory and how she's trying to help her sister, and then she most likely gets killed at the end. It was just like, I didn't expect this at all. I thought it was just going to be a funny episode. Little rivalry, I guess, between Michiko and Pepe, because they're, Pepe's like trying to get, run Michiko over, and Michiko talks about Pepe in the beginning of the episode and flips her off and stuff. And it's just really silly. Thought that's how it was going to go. And then just serious. But I loved the episode for sure. I'm really excited to see how things do play out for these next two episodes, especially now knowing that it is a two-part thing. Like, it's part 1 and part 2, and it might be a part 3, but only parts 1 and 2 are up on demand for me right now. So I'm really excited to see what takes place in these next two episodes, because they do actually fit together, and I feel like they kind of have to tie into this one, because it's not like they're just gonna be like, oh, she died, and then they go off and do something else. I really hope, at least. I don't think anyone would write a show that way where it's like, she died, and then next episode, unless it's Space Dandy, that could probably happen. But I like this one, of course. I want to know what you guys thought about it, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I definitely want to know if you guys were kind of caught off guard by how dramatic the episode got by the end, because obviously, like I said, 2-3 times already, just really surprised me. Like, halfway through, once they had the scene where after Hatchin was like, I gotta go pee, and she took off, right there, it was just like really, really serious. Like, it was a little serious before, because you could obviously tell that Pepe, had this girl, and like, I didn't know, I figured it was her daughter at first. But it's like, she obviously has this girl. That was already a little bit serious, because you could tell that something was going on there, that she was the adult in that situation trying to take care of this little girl. So that was obvious. But then it's like, just ramped up a lot by the end. So I want to know how that kind of caught you guys from a show like this, where we've seen, in like the first episode, Michiko, or the second one, I guess, when Michiko's like driving across rooftops and crazy stuff like that, to what we have right now. So I definitely want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.